What do you think of TripAdvisor? Wow, that is a hard question. TripAdvisor is like the behemoth of the travel industry. It has utterly changed the world, at least the world the way we travel it. Are there others like it? There are. But that's kind of like saying there are other search engines like Google. So today we're going to talk about 6 ways that you're using TripAdvisor wrong. There are a lot of issues with TripAdvisor. It may be that you spend too much time on user reviews in the first place, and there are issues with fake reviews and people trying to game the system, but that's another topic for another time. Okay, first thing that you're probably doing wrong, you're not using the filters. Every single person under the sun in almost every country in the world leaves reviews on TripAdvisor. They could be young, they could be old, they could be rich, they could be poor, they could have left a review in winter and you're coming in summer. So TripAdvisor has a bunch of really useful filters to get down to people who are more like you or taking the trip more like you. Let's say you're looking for a French restaurant in Paris. You can use all sorts of filters. So we can say, first of all, it's a French restaurant. Let's say you're vegetarian, so you want it to be vegetarian friendly. You're going for lunch, and okay, why not? You're in the Bastille neighborhood. What looks good? How about this one? La Vache Acrobat. I think that means the acrobatic cow. Not sure if that's good for vegetarians, but let's take a look. Let's open it up. Even within the restaurant, we can do a bunch of filtering. You can choose if you're a family, you can choose if you're a couple, you can choose what time of year you're going. I don't know why that matters to restaurants. Maybe they have an outdoor space. But one of the things we want to do here is what language the person left the review in. There's a bunch of English language reviews. Quite a number of them were excellent. What if we decided that we want to hear what French people have to say about this? Well, look. The number of excellents go down, and then let's see what the French have to say. Of course, it's all in French, but Google will translate it for you. Google Translate, fish brandade, overheated and tasteless. Well, that's not a good start. We'll get back to that in a second, because now I want to go to the second thing you're doing wrong on TripAdvisor. You're ignoring numbers. TripAdvisor looks like it's all about words, but actually it's quite a bit about numbers. Look at this. The guy who left this terrible review actually only has 1 review on TripAdvisor. So who knows? He could be the owner of the restaurant across the street trying to take away business from them. You should always look at how many reviews the person wrote before you even pay attention to them. So here's someone with 39 reviews, and let's see what they have to say. Do not hesitate. It's a real pleasure. Now, as you know, you can't trust any one review. So one of the things you want to look at is the average number of, in this case, circles. Sometimes it's stars. 4.5 out of 5. That's very good, but it all depends on the sample size. How many people voted to make that 4.5? So it's really important to look at the number of reviews. 322 is actually a pretty small number, but it's probably big enough that it's not just all fake reviews of some enemy of the restaurant or fake reviews by the owners of the restaurant. If there were like 10 or 15 reviews only, I completely disregard the reviews at all because they could easily be fake. The next big mistake, and probably the biggest mistake that I think people make, is that they look for opinions in the user reviews. Now, of course, you're saying, obviously, we're looking for opinions in the user reviews. I think you should pay more attention to the facts. If someone says this restaurant is fantastic, you have no idea who they are, you have no idea if they have the same taste as you, but if you look at the facts, then you can trust them more, because why would someone lie about the facts? So let's take a look. I'm back to the English language reviews of the same restaurant. Got this guy, he's got a funny fake mustache, kind of like him. He's from Coventry in the United Kingdom. He's done 59 reviews. Okay, so he's reasonable. Let's read what he has to say. It was small and cramped, but fantastically welcoming, and the food was just lovely. I had beef cheeks, which was fantastically succulent. Just love this place, although I was on top of other customers. Maybe you don't even like beef cheeks. Actually, you're looking for a vegetarian restaurant, so you almost definitely don't. But even if you did, you don't know if this guy has the same taste in beef cheeks. I will tell you this. He says it was small and cramped, and he was on top of the other customers. So you know, pretty much for a fact, that this place is tiny and you're going to be like on top of other people. If you don't like that kind of thing, you go to somewhere else. If you like that kind of intimacy, you go there. This could also work in like hotel reviews. If someone comes in and says, oh, the staff were really rude at the front desk, you got to be like, were they rude, or were you in a bad mood, or are you just a pain in the ass anyway? But if someone says, this hotel is really great, except that it's 8 blocks from the nearest subway station, and you think, why would they lie about that? And I can check on the map anyway. It's 8 blocks from the nearest subway station, and I'm not going to rent a car. Better think about somewhere else. Okay, your next error is maybe you shouldn't be using TripAdvisor in the first place. Is someone at TripAdvisor sleeping with someone at Google? Look what happens when you Google things to do in Barcelona. Well, first of all, there's an ad, but then what's the first article that comes up? The 10 best things to do in Barcelona. Okay, so that's going to be 10 things that you've already heard of. If you want to see that, that's great. But you can also sort of skip over that. Look at all these other things that come up. 20 great things to do in Barcelona from Time Out. So that was written undoubtedly by a person, and a person who probably lives in Barcelona. Let's see what it says. Look at that. Discover the city on foot, explore Gaudi and modernism, hit a high note in a concert. Okay, it's actually not talking about single places. It's talking about like themes, actually more interesting. Okay, another mistake people make is falling for the TripAdvisor sales pitch. TripAdvisor used to just be a whole bunch of user reviews, right? Those were the days. That's when a lot of us got to know TripAdvisor, and that's how we think of TripAdvisor. But really now, like any company, it grew and it needs a way to make money. So they are now also what we call an OTA, an online travel agency. They sell hotel rooms, you can make a reservation in a restaurant, you can book tours. Let's take a look at this. Okay, so the first thing you see is shop, tickets, and tours. And then there's top things to do. Okay, that's not selling anything. Featured tours and tickets, day trips, all this kind of stuff. So let's just look at the top things to do. Oh, look, number one, Sagrada Familia. If you go here, what's the first thing you see? You see book in advance. So here's like some different tours you can do. $47, $48, $108. Well, guess what? If they were really giving good travel advice, the first thing they'd say is the thing you find when you go to the Sagrada Familia website. It actually is right here. You just click on it. You click on tickets, and then the first thing that comes out is advantages of buying tickets from the official website. We are the official ticket seller. You get the best price. Okay, what is that price? Individual tickets. The basic ticket for Sagrada Familia, 15 euros. So that's under 20 bucks. You know, before you were looking at 50 bucks, 45 bucks. I'm not saying that those tours might not be good, but the real advice is that the basic ticket costs 15 euros. Do you find that on TripAdvisor? You don't. So I just skip over all this stuff. I want to go down, I want to see the overview, and then I want to read the review. Are you kidding me? More ways to experience the Sagrada. Where's the 15 euro way? Okay, the next thing you're probably doing wrong on TripAdvisor is you're not sorting. Let's say we're looking for a hostel in Portland. Okay, so here's hostels in TripAdvisor. We'll say, July 17th or something like that. Let me just show you what comes out by default here. The first one that comes out is the Society Hotel. It's got, 4 and a little bit. Then you have Hosteling International, 4 stars. It's the number 2 best value. This is all looking all right. But then look at number 3, the Pod Lodge, 0 reviews. We have no idea what this place is like, and yet it's the 3rd best value. You know why? It's because when you get below that, it's places you can't book through TripAdvisor. So it is sorting and putting on top the places they can sell you. That's a reasonable thing to do because you're a business, but a lot of us, when we think of TripAdvisor, think of it as just user reviews. Everything in the world is there, and it's all got user reviews, and that's a fantastic tool. Now it's kind of sorted in a way that's better for them and not necessarily better for you. Okay, and what's after the Pod Lodge and Hostel? Okay, there's the Traveler's House. Look at that. 5, full-on 5 stars after 113 reviews. The Friendly by Guest House, which is 5 stars, just 37 reviews. So there you have a place that's totally untested at number 3. And then when you go down further, you basically get 2 others that have much better review score, but because you can't buy it through TripAdvisor, it doesn't appear. What you need to do is sort, not just on TripAdvisor, but on any of these websites. Look how it's been sorted for you. If it says something like our picks or just for you, or in this case, best value, you think, that's kind of a judgment call, right? So I just go right over and we go Traveler Ranked. Oh, well, look what comes out on top. Traveler's House is number 1. That was number 4 before. Click on it. You read the reviews. Oh my God, 98% excellent. And then you're like, okay, let me reserve. Oh, no availability for your dates from these sites. You can only get it directly through them. So what do? You just go like this. Traveler's House, Portland. You go on. Where's the actual website? Here it is. You click on it. Oh, book now. 2 nights. Check availability. Look at how many rooms are available. If you like the video, please click on the little thumbs up guy, click on subscribe, and then click on that little bell and you'll get a notification from me. Or don't click on the bell if you don't want to get a notification, it's fine. That's it. Please tell me what you think about TripAdvisor, any advice you have for other people. I'll see you in the comments.